A group of friends decided to spend the weekend in an old house that stood on a hill, far from the city. It was an abandoned mansion, built more than 100 years ago, and rumors were that no one had set foot in it for a long time. Locals said that the house was cursed, but the guys decided that this was just a fairy tale. When they arrived at the house, everything was old and neglected. The windows were boarded up, the furniture was covered in dust, and the air was filled with the smell of dampness. But nothing foreshadowed trouble, and the friends decided to have an evening with games and ghost stories. In the evening, when they were sitting in the living room and looking at old photographs, one of them, Tom, noticed that one of the photographs depicted a person he did not remember. It was strange, because the rest of the pictures were clearly taken many years ago. When he looked at the background, he noticed that one of the windows in the house was open, although they had just checked, and everything was locked. The next day, when they were exploring the basement, they found an old door leading to a dungeon that no one knew about. They opened it and went down. The basement was dark and cold, but the strangest thing was that the walls were covered in old blood, and in the center there was a huge stone altar with incomprehensible signs. When one of the friends, James, touched the altar, the door slammed shut with a bang, and they were trapped. Suddenly, shadows began to run along the walls, and quiet whispers were heard, as if someone was trying to warn them. But it was too late. Soon, the friends began to disappear one by one, as if an invisible force was taking them into the dark corners of the house. The last one left was Tom. He rushed to the door, but when he turned around, he saw his own reflection in the mirror. It was smiling, and his face was distorted in horror. When the rescue team came to the house the next morning, they found only one thing: a photo from that very day. There were 4 people in it, but when they looked closely, they noticed that in the background was a figure with empty eyes standing behind them. Since then, the house has been empty again, and those who dare to enter it never return. This story creates an atmosphere of tension and fear, combining an old house, a curse, and supernatural phenomena, which makes it great for a short, scary story.